Have a light day, sir.
The following is the agenda for the regular council meeting of the Borough of Compton Lakes, Mayor and Council Municipal Corporation in the County of Passaic. The meeting will begin at 7:30 PM on September 27, 2023, in the Municipal Building, 25 Lenox Avenue, Compton Lakes. Consistent with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, the meeting will be open for public comments and shall be in accordance with the terms and conditions of the borough's municipal code and bylaws.
Please stand for a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bless this mayor and council as they deliberate on the best of Compton Lakes. Okay, in conformance with the Open Public Meeting Law, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, adequate notice of this meeting setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this regular meeting minutes through notice posted in the bulletin board in the municipal building, mailed or have requested and paid for same and published in the Suburban Trends. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sarah.
Here.
Council President Charlie Laurie. Here. Councilman Day.
He's excused. Excused.
Councilman Cruz.
Here.
Councilman Deline.
Here.
Councilwoman Kent. Here. Councilman Bennett.
Here.
With this as a borough attorney, Mark Semeraro.
And that's it.
Right now.
Okay, let's start with, it's our privilege and honor to swear in our new administrator, Michael Corelli, who's right here. I'm gonna come down and talk about it. I'm gonna give him a chance to talk about it himself. A lot of us know him from town. He's been working in our town for a long time. He's in a close-knit town next to us. So we're expecting big things from him, and we're expecting a lot of work and a lot of time. But we think it's a good fix, and the committee that met did meet with a bunch of resumes, and this is the one that we decided was the best. So with that, you want to bring your family up, whoever you'd like.
Okay.
Got a lot of hands. I state your name.
I, Michael Corelli,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New
and the
Jersey.
Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of
perform all the duties of
Borough Administrator
Borough Administrator
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome. Just tight over the top. Write it in. Okay, let's move on. I have a proclamation. Is Ryan? Ryan's here. Come on up, Ryan. I'm going back down with you, but Knockout Opioids Abuse Day, October 6, 2023. Ryan, this is Ryan. He runs our municipal alliance. Does a great job for us. Spends a lot of time doing a lot of paperwork for that, and this is part of that. Proclamation Knockout Opioids Abuse Day, October 6th. New Jersey is in the midst of a life-threatening opioid crisis. The Partnership for Drug-Free New Jersey has designated October 6th as Knockout Opioid Day. The State Senate and General Assembly joined resolved that October 6th shall be permanently designated as Knockout Opioid Day in the state of New Jersey. Education, health, providers, community leaders, state lawmakers, and members of the public about the opioid epidemic and its effects throughout the state of New Jersey. Now, therefore, I, Michael Sarah, Mayor of the Borough of Pompano Lakes, County of Passaic, do hereby proclaim October 6, 2023 as Knockout Opioid Abuse Day. You must vote.
I did take a photo, yes. I'll send it to you, Ronnie. Okay.
And with all the noise that we're seeing in the news right now about opioids and what happened at the daycare center in New York, you know, this is obviously an important thing, and it's happening all over the country. So this is an important thing that everyone has to stay on top of. So I'm glad we're representing that. In my remarks, we'll talk about how they came here for the opioid, for a day of recognition later on. Okay. Can I have a motion to open the meeting for public comments? Councilman Devine, who is that, Tanya? Council President Polidori, all in favor? Aye. Against? Anyone from the public like to address? Please step up.
Elaine Zablocki, 6 Butler Street. This question is for Mr. Sarah, Mrs. Kent, and Mr. Denon. Will you be participating in the League of Women Voters Candidates Forum?
We haven't made a determination. At least I have.
Is that the same for all of you? Is there a reason why you haven't?
No.
In a week and a half's time,
In a week and a half's time?
that the invitation has been issued?
No, we're going to discuss it. We'll see what we're going to do.
I think it's important that the voters in Pompton Lakes hear from everybody. So I certainly hope you do participate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the public like to address? Step up.
Good evening, George Popov, 1104 Colfax Avenue. I'm sure you're bored to hear that every couple of weeks. So what's going on? Any planning, development? Are we gonna put this on for 12 more months, 12 more years before they come up with a document that may not exist?
So I can tell you this, as you know, we have a new administrator. The administrator has to get caught up. It's going to be top priority. I've already spoke to him about it. It will be top priority of what we're going to do. Unfortunately, the title company that we've used has found no record that can hold true for the easement. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So according to our attorney, which we had asked him, he has another title company that he thinks can do a better job of that.
He thinks? Or does
Well,
he
we have
know?
to do, that's the first stage. That is the first stage.
No, you guys have been sitting on this for so many years. How about eminent domain? How about hiring an attorney who's not only got brains and experience, but also cojones to start thinking outside the box? You haven't thought about outside the box yet, but yet my property is being destroyed.
And we
You're
understand.
using the damn pipe. It's draining Colfax Avenue.
I understand that, and look, I understand.
I know you understand it, but you're not doing anything about it.
It has to be done through the administration. This council cannot do anything about it. It has to be done.
You've had 12 years. What are you waiting for?
Okay, but we've made great progress, now we have to bring.
Progress? Where's the progress? Show me one step of progress.
We've filmed the break a couple times. We have to find out who owns the easement. We have to, if there is an easement. If there is no easement, then it's a different set of stages we have to take, but we have to make sure there is no easement there. If there is no easement there, then we go a different route. If there is an easement there,
When?
okay.
What's your deadline finally? Give me a date.
I can only say that we're gonna speak about it, and we're gonna hire a surveyor that specializes in historical,
You're going to hire him. When?
I would say in a week. We're gonna talk to the administrator this week. He's a new
I can't
administrator.
believe this.
You're gonna have
How
to
many
wait.
years?
I'm sorry,
You had an
but you're gonna
attorney.
have-
He's been here for how many years? You haven't done anything outside the box. There's no progress whatsoever.
I can tell you that the attorney, and I'm gonna let him speak a little bit about this afterwards, is aware of the file. We had to get the files from another
We got the
attorney.
files.
Yeah.
We have great files, yeah. We're restudying the files.
But it has to be done that way. It has to be.
You've had 12 years. What do you mean? It has to be, it has to be. You haven't done anything.
I can only speak to what was going on right now.
I can't believe
You
it.
got anything you want to say?
Yeah, as you know, there was a period of time where I was not in this capacity. So I recently received records that were in the possession of the former administrator who was taking the lead with respect to this.
She didn't do anything either.
Well, according to her file, which was pretty substantial that I received,
Great.
she did a fair amount with respect to engineering, et cetera. This issue was brought to my attention during this past summer, and that's when I was asked what else could be done to learn about the existence of the easement, and I gave her limited advice in that regard. I never had the file up until recently. Going through the file, I see that she did spend a fair amount of time. Now, you gotta understand that she inherited a file from the former administrator as well.
Yeah, the one before that didn't do anything either.
I can't speak to that. I can tell you that the work that she did in the limited
I
time
can
that she
speak
was,
to it.
was
Marston had the plan,
Please let him talk.
2012, sir.
Let him talk.
What happened since then?
He let you talk, now please let
You're
him.
replowing the same ground. My apologies, go.
no worries. I understand your frustration. So it was in the hands recently of the title company. The title company saw some easement language from 1920, 1922, but it didn't trace it back to who owns easement rights, whether or not they still exist, and who succeeded to those rights. That's where it was left off. I recently, like I said, picked up the file, looked at it. During that time, I recognized the name of the property owner. I actually handled the closing for that property owner back in 2000, 2002, whenever it was. I didn't know that until now.
I've had those records for 12 years, sir. I've had all the property owners.
I was only consulted with how to find out about an easement. I was not handling the file. So I gave that information to her, not knowing, not researching things myself. Now that I saw that, this presents what I feel is a conflict that I have to step out of. But with the new administrator, we'll have a new attorney look at this, they'll be given the benefit of everything, in order to ascertain just from a generic, logical process how to proceed. The next step is the title company, which has not yet done it, has to trace if the easement is still in place, who is the beneficiary of the easement, and what rights do they have. And in that process, they'll also have to see whether or not the borough itself has any rights. Then, that attorney's gonna have to present what our options are.
Like when? What's the deadline? What's the plan? I don't hear a thing.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It's incompetence. It really is. I'm getting really tired of
Yelling
this.
is not gonna make it better for you, I'm gonna tell you that, and I understand you're frustrated. But let
No,
me
you
just
don't
tell
understand my frustration.
Let me
I
just tell you
am
this.
suffering thousands of dollars in losses.
I understand that, it's unfortunate, but we have to follow the channels.
You haven't done a damn thing. What do you mean?
The administration has handled it, we have a new administrator, unfortunately.
That's
He
right,
has
you're
to-
passing it around. It's a nice
It's not-
bureaucratic mess.
We've
I hand it
spoken-
off to another attorney, to another attorney, to another title company.
Again, it has to be done that way, because if there is an easement, we have to be obligated to that easement. If there's not, then some of the things you mentioned might be the way we go, but we have to be
When?
certain. It takes time, I'm sorry.
When? What do you mean it takes time?
I would say in the
What's
next,
the deadline?
I would say.
How do you
in the next-
plan? How do you manage
Are
anything?
you gonna let me talk?
I'm sorry, but.
I would say in the next month, we will have hopefully a answer from the surveyors, the first ones we used, because they haven't written us a final letter on it yet. They haven't told us what their findings are yet.
I-
What's their deadline? Do you have a deadline for them?
Like I said,
By when they give you a letter?
The 30 days.
30 days.
Right.
Okay, so
Once
in
we
30
get, once
days,
we get that letter,
once they get that letter, you go to another survey.
well, no, if that letter says, yes, there is an easement, then we move forward. If they say, no, there's no easement, then we have the option to find.
And that's gonna be simultaneously with the title search company, the title company delving in and giving a report as well. So you're looking at this from a couple different perspectives. Even though I'm stepping out, that's what the borough is gonna be doing. In 30 days, those avenues should yield some results that give the
Should be
borough.
some results.
Well, you know, you don't know what you don't know. I mean, we simply don't know. If we knew when things were gonna be definitively determined, we would know the substance already, and we don't. like I said, in August, the administrator was dealing with the title company. I wasn't. She was dealing with the title company. I know I saw some emails that involved you. She was keeping you updated as to what she was talking to the title company. I wasn't even CC'd on those emails. You know, it was the administrator that was processing this investigation. So the current administrator, or the newly appointed administrator, will pick that up. It is going to be a priority. You heard that from the mayor. The new attorney is going to be, I'll hand these files off to him personally, directly, so that there's no delay. So that we
Give
can
us 30
get things
days.
done.
30 days is what I'm telling you now to get some answers. I can't guarantee it, but I'm working
Markham
with.
had all the plans out in 2012, that whole firm.
It's
What
more
happened
than-
to all that?
it's
You're gonna
more than
replow
just
that
plans.
ground,
It's
you're
not
gonna
about-
reinvent the wheel?
Right, it's not about plans. We have to see who owns the property. I can't keep saying that again. We have to do that. By law, we have to. We can't just say do it and hope it's right. Because if we're
That's
wrong,
what eminent domain is for. It's your pipe, you're using it, you're draining the street. You're wrecking my property.
and if there is no easement, that is a possibility. Okay, but if there is an easement, then we just go that route with the easement. We have to get a definite answer on the easement. I know, and I'm sorry about that. It's what it is. Just give us 30 days, and Michael already knows.
Sorry doesn't help me at all,
I
sir, with all due
understand.
respect.
I get that.
That doesn't do a damn thing.
And I do feel bad for you, but it's one of these situations we have to do.
I guess I'll be talking to you, Michael. Welcome on board.
Anyone else from the public like to address? Please step up.
Randy Hinton, 443 Montclair Avenue. Speaking to the mayor and council of Ponton Lakes, this is something that's been bugging me for years. And I'm going to bring it back up again because it bugged me. I did my research. I went and Oprah nine different towns. And you retired, what, 2018? You retired personally, 2018?
That's nothing to do with what's going on here.
Excuse me?
When I retired has nothing to do with.
It was just a general question, right?
Yeah, I don't have to offer that information.
2019, according to Oprah and the salaries in town, you took a 25.5% increase in your personal salary on the council. And in 2020, you took a just under 21% increase in your personal salary, and I brought it up at that time. And since then, you've taken 2% along with the council. Council got 2% right along. So just out of my general curiosity, Oprah, which is the Open Public Records Act, and actually I saw Mr. Corelli in Oakland, and he gave me the salaries of the Oakland mayor and council. And it turns out of 9 towns, the highest salary mayors is the town of Wayne. Well, of course, Wayne is a big town, it's 25 square miles. But your salary comes in number 2, and we're only 3 square miles.
Depends which towns you're looking at. Which towns are you looking at? I don't know which
I'm
towns.
looking at Ponton Lakes, Oakland, Wayne, Bloomingdale, Riverdale, Ringwood, Wanacue, Pequot, and Kinnelon. Those are all surrounding towns.
Okay,
So that was Republican mayor and councils, fiscally conservative, a little more than we seem to be here, especially with your salary. We have an election coming up, and you're running again. Could you tell me and the voting public why you need to be the second highest salary of 9 towns surrounding you?
it started as a process, and there's no explaining salaries. I can bring up one thing. You are the only paid volunteer employee we have in this town.
That's incorrect.
You're paid for gas mileage. That is not incorrect. Okay, you're the only one paid for gas mileage. Okay, I have volunteer, I'm talking now, okay? I have volunteer firemen coming to me saying, I have to go to fires, why am I paid for my gas? Okay? I have other groups saying, I go see houses all the time for zoning and planning, why am I not paid for gas? That is something we have to address on as a council, in my opinion, that you're getting paid to drive, you're the only one. And that's something that was put in place. So just like the salaries are put into place, this is put into place. So we'll have to address both of them.
Okay, can I speak now?
Sure.
Because this is my 5 minutes.
Sure, I was answering you.
And you can speak after my 5
Yeah,
minutes.
well, you asked my
But
opinion.
this is my 5 minutes. Okay? That's It's not a salary. It's my gas mileage which is being paid. And I am actually, all you people know, and a lot of people in town know, running a tree department
Which could change.
just for gas mileage. So we can argue that point at another time. But see, this has been an issue with you also. I'm bringing up a legitimate concern about salaries and comparing them to other towns.
For you.
And
That's
your
your, that's
salary,
your
I'm bringing
concern.
it up.
Right, that's your concern.
That's my concern.
Correct.
Right. And you turn around and attack me.
I'm not attacking you.
You did.
I'm
You
bringing
brought
up, I am
about
bringing
gas
up,
stipend.
just like you're bringing up something for attention, I'm bringing up something for attention.
That's not what you're here to do.
Yes, it is.
No.
To put the facts out to the public, yes. That is, and your answer, I answered your question, the salaries are what they are. Okay, that's what they are.
Also, I found out in the information that Bloomingdale, Riverdale, Ringwood, and Wanacue, for the last 5 years, have taken no increases in salary
That's good for them.
for their mayor and councils. Right now, your salary is double Wanacue's mayor, 3 times
What
Ringwood's
is my
mayor,
salary listed there?
double Kinnelon's mayor,
What is the
and
salary?
7 times Bloomingdale's.
What is my salary listed there?
Your salary is $15,900.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. So where you're getting that
That's in the
information?
documentation I got from Dr. Lakes right here.
That is incorrect number. That's an incorrect
I
number.
got this from Liz.
Okay, well,
I
that's,
got this
That's a
from the
salary
clerk.
range.
that's a range.
It's a range.
So you need to get your information straight before you
This
present.
is what I was given.
Okay, but that's a
Where does it
range.
say it's a range? Where? You want to read
Is
it?
that an ordinance? Is that the ordinance or resolution?
Resolution 2376. Not an ordinance, resolution.
They're
Okay.
ranges.
Would you like to see it?
They're ranges.
I have it at 15606 in 2022.
They're ranges.
So I just want you to tell the voters that's coming up in the next election,
Not a problem.
why you need to be the highest paid, the second highest paid.
And I'm gonna say it's a range. Okay, that range is not the right number, which you're asking. And if I look at the list, if you leave it with the clerk,
When I open, and I
okay, your
go
5
there,
minutes is almost up.
the new
I can confirm that, I think it's
sentence.
15,606 in 2022. I think it was 15,606 in 2022.
This is 20, this says right on here.
I
Down
can tell you
here,
that, that's not what I'm doing. I know what I get monthly, so I know what, it's not correct.
I'm just telling you, and I'm asking you to explain to me and to the voters in November, why you need to
The
be
salaries of this mayor and
7
council,
times the salary of the mayor of
the
Bloomingdale.
salaries of this mayor and council are what they are. And they've been that way for a very long time.
Well, that's no excuse.
That's what my answer is for you. If you're not happy with my answer, I'm sorry about that.
Ooh.
Okay, your 5 minutes is up.
Actually, you're not in charge of time to the podium. The clerk is,
No, but we've,
by ordinance.
by ordinance, is it by ordinance?
Right.
I don't think it is. But we've done it, we've done it in the past 15 years. We've done it for the last 15 years this way, and this is the way we'll continue to do it.
But it's not by ordinance.
I don't know that for sure. I'd have to ask someone to check that.
Okay, the ordinance.
And if that's the case, now you're asking our clerk to do more work and keep a timer, which we will
But
do,
that's by ordinance, it's her job.
which we will do for you, because you're the one asking for that.
No, it's not for me, it's by law, by the ordinance. by the town
Okay,
law.
well, we've had this concerns many times, and no one's ever brought it up except you.
Well, it's the law you're supposed to follow.
Okay, and well,
And if I happen to bring it up, you can
I have the attorney looking into it, and he'll let me know.
Want to have the attorney look it up?
Yeah,
I can give him it right now if he wants it.
no, he'll look it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would the public like to address? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
Councilman Bennett? Councilman Devine, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, where are we? Approval of minutes, regular meeting minutes, September 13th, 2023, closed meeting, September 13th, 2023. Can I have a motion? So moved. Councilman Devine? Second. Councilman Bennett, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Bills and claims as listed below. Can I have a motion? So moved. Councilman Devine? Second. Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Consent agenda, resolutions. Anybody need anything removed or questioned? Nope. Okay. Motion to approve the resolutions.
Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Compton Lakes have reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions, whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Compton Lakes does not desire to remove resolutions for individual action from that agenda. Now therefore be it resolved that the following resolutions on the consent agenda are hereby approved. Resolution 23-176 through 23-181.
Motion to approve the resolution. So moved. Councilman Blige. Second. Councilman Bennett. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, look at that. No first and no seconds. That's great. Under my report, okay. We'll start with the National Recovery Month that we talked about in the beginning of the meeting. There was as we said, a proclamation read, and then we did have in honor of National Recovery Month, the Passaic County Office of Recovery kicked off their recovery celebration yesterday, and they brought the Hope Van outside our place here, and they went to 8 towns just to show that we're recognizing it and talking about it. And I think it's a good start and a good progress, and I thank everybody who took part in that van and getting it out here. I had a meeting with the radio station and the people that own it. They talked about, how COVID had set them back a little bit, and they're trying to get back up on their feet and running. They run a full radio station right now out of Orange County. It's been there, I think, 20 years. They're talking about trying to do the same setup here in Pompton Lakes at the radio station. They'd like to make it more of a homegrown kind of feel like they have up in Orange County. So we're in the process of seeing if we can help them do that. We're lucky to have a radio station here in town, even though we're not running it. To have a group doing it is important. Anybody who's been here a while remembers that the radio station was a vital part of everything we did in this town back before the internet. Now, the internet did replace a lot of that, but I'm still a fan of the radio station, so I hope to see it grow and get bigger, and maybe have interviews and everything out right out of here, out of Pompton Lakes, like they do over in Orange County. I also called into the radio show on last Monday for about an hour. We had a nice conversation. They asked a lot of questions about what was going on. I attended the bid meeting, a lot of discussion about how we can help the landlords and tenants understand the laws that govern what they do there. And working with the bid, I think they're going to do some more information getting out to them to understand how they handle the garbage, what days to put it out, how it's supposed to be sealed and put together. One of the issues we do have, and I get calls about it sometimes downtown, is the businesses are doing what they have to do, but unfortunately, we do have people, and I won't even say they're residents. It could be people just driving down Wanacue Avenue from another town and dropping their garbage off on the dumpsters outside of the businesses downtown. And they just take a bag and they sit it right on top of the dumpster and they keep on moving. It's very difficult to prove whose garbage that is. Even going through it, it's not really legal to go through it. So it is a problem. And if you see someone doing it, if you just happen to be driving through town and you see someone dropping off a mattress at the garbage can and driving away, it doesn't hurt to call the police and just say, hey, look, I just saw a guy drop a mattress off on Tuesday and there's no garbage pickup until Thursday. So those are the things the bids has to deal with. And it's a tough fight. I'm not going to lie. It is a tough fight. I was invited by the Elks. We had our own William Shatner, Star Trek Enterprise, there on Sunday. It was a really nice event. They had to move it inside because of the weather. They had a lot of vendors. They had a lot of activities happening, a lot of people. And they asked me to meet William Shatner, which was great. And I got to tell you, for a 92-year-old man, he was right on top of everything. The first thing he said to me is, what do I need to know about Pompton Lakes? Why do people live here? What's going on in this town? He wanted to know all about it. He wanted to be part of the information. We explained to him about the Joe Louis Memorial, which he found interesting, and that the property he was on at the Elks was purchased from that group. He really showed, at least tried to show some interest. And I see a lot of residents took advantage of meeting him. I know a lot of people contacted me or through social media mentioned they didn't hear about it, and I did bring that to the Elks, that they needed to do a better job of publicizing that, because I think they would have got a better turnout if there was more people aware of it. I mean, a lot of people saw it right away and then said, I'm going to try to run down there. He was only there for a couple hours. They had the Scooby-Doo van there from Scooby-Doo days. Anybody remembers Scooby-Doo? I spoke to that gentleman, and the gentleman that runs that whole group is actually our high school band director's father. And I think it would be interesting to get some of that stuff to our holiday stroll and to our Pompton Day and things like that. So he gave me his card. I'm going to pass it on to the bid and other groups to see if we're interested. If anybody remembers Pompton Day a couple years back, we had the Batmobile there, which was a big hit. He was the one that got us that. So that's all good information. Attended the zoning board meeting. It was a lengthy zoning board meeting, but they made some hard decisions, but they ended up doing what they had to do. And that is my report. Council President Polidori.
Thank you. First, just to address Mr. Hinton's question, Resolution 21-281, salaries for the full calendar year of 2022, mayoral salary $15,606. You were correct. Also,
Then I'm not getting paid enough. I can tell you that right
you're
now.
not getting paid enough.
That's not what I get paid monthly. So if you're gonna stick to that number, then that's
Well, I'm
incorrect.
not going to stick to the number. It's on the resolution that
Okay.
you sit up here and sign.
Yes, but it's a range. The
It's
resolution,
not a range.
all
This is
the
not-
salaries are put in as ranges.
No, this is not the range resolution. This is the salary, the annual salary resolution.
I'd still have
You don't
to
know
check.
the difference?
No, I do, and I think there are all ranges. I'll have to check that.
So you can check, and please let us know at the next
I
meeting
will.
then. And then I want to welcome Michael. Thank you. From what I know of you and from having spoken to you in our interview, I am impressed. I know you're going to do a great job, so I appreciate the hard work that I know you have ahead of you. And if you need anything, please let me know. You're welcome. We have been discussing through the approval of members of Rotary and Shade Tree, the planting of the Salem oak that we went down and took a sapling from. I guess it's been about a year now. Right, about a year ago, we went down and got the sapling. We were speaking with Dan. We're looking at the end of October for them to assist with digging the hole and putting the tree in the ground. So hopefully we can make a special event out of that. We were one of the boroughs that was lucky enough to get a sapling, so that will be exciting to see that planted in Rotary Park. There's plenty of room there, and it's a beautiful tree, so thank you for that. I want to thank the members of the board of PLRYO for hosting a 50th anniversary for the dedication of Carlo Field in memory of George Carlo. We had numerous members of the Carlo family come out for the celebration. I saw the video. It was well attended. It's really special when we have families that stay in town for so long and are such a part of our history that we're able to celebrate them, and they come from near and far to be a part of something like that. So thank you to everyone that put that together. A reminder that the townwide garage sale is this weekend. It is a day where people come from all over to buy items from other people's lawns, so please be careful, because we find every year that there's just that one vase sitting on a table on someone's lawn that you absolutely have to have, and you jam on your brakes to pull into that driveway to purchase it, and forgetting that there are numerous pedestrians that day and cars behind you. So please tell your kids to be careful if they're walking around in the streets. Please drive carefully. Please don't double park on the streets, and please don't stop on Ringwood Ave with your hazards on for that ashtray from 1970. And then open space. We talked about this the day before the last open space meeting. Unfortunately, we were not able to get a quorum. No information was sent out. I did receive texts and phone calls from the majority members of the group that have now expressed concern to me that we have not had a functional meeting or a decision made in the 9 months that this meeting has been taking place, when it has taken place since you took it over earlier this year. Now, when I brought it up last time, you indicated that I had not done a good job in the 4 years I was running it, and that we did not complete projects. I do want to remind you that in that time, I worked with the former borough administrator on the revamping of Styles Park and the selection of inclusive play spaces, which was done and completed. I started, approved the funding for, watched over the contractors, selected the equipment, walked all the way through to the end, to the ribbon cutting, in just about a year in a pandemic for the full revitalization and inclusive play space at Lakeside Park, which continued on to include the first 90-foot of docking, which is beautiful and used by our schools and our kayakers and our fishers. We had begun discussions on continuing the dock for another 90 feet to the Mueller property. We had done extensive work on the possibility of adding parking, sidewalking, the redoing of the gazebo. We also, along with Councilwoman Kent, incorporated the schools and other organizations in the complete redoing of Pacifico Gallo Park, which included a contest that engaged students from our elementary schools into naming one of the pieces of the playground equipment, which we also oversaw from start to finish. And that was all done Actually, there was more. We also started with the hopes of continuing the improvements of the dog park. I was responsible for selecting new dog park equipment and having a vestibule safety entry and access point put in, which was also done in my time on open space. So it was a little insulting and unnecessary to hear from you that during my time on open space, I did not do a good job and nothing was done, when in fact, all of the work that had done leading up to the conclusion of last year, including the approval of funding for Carlo, the approval of funding for Phase 1 and Phase 2 for Hirschfield, of which now for 9 months, we have asked for you to provide us with information to which you have still not done. So I just wanted to go on record and say that it is in fact this year with open space that not a single thing has been done. And that is my report.
Thank you. So let's address some of those things. First of all, you didn't do any of those things. The Open Space Committee did that.
Under
Okay?
my leadership.
Okay, I'm talking now. I did not interrupt you. Please do not interrupt me. Okay? That was an Open Space Committee. About having a quorum, we were set to have a quorum, but 2 members got sick that day. I can't speak for why people come or don't come. So if people are not coming, that is not up to me. You placed some of these people on the committee who are not showing up in quorum. Okay, so you were the ones who presented these names to this council to put on this Open Space Committee. If they're not showing up, that's not my concern. They were your picks. The work that you did was done by this council and Open Space. You were one of the members that helped push it. Taking credit for all of that is not what we're here to do. Okay, and you seem to be trying to take credit for everything you did. At the same time, the reason that conversation started is because you made comments about how I was running the Open Space Committee. I did not start the conversation, you did. Thank you for your report.
I don't mind taking credit, but I will point out that you are the first person to put blame on everything else, to
Thank you for your
everyone else.
report. Who is next on the list? That would be Councilman Cruz.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me, I have nothing to report today from the Board of Education, but I do have motions tonight. The following motion is presented on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce regarding the 23rd Annual Classic Car Show to be held on Sunday, October 15th, 2023, with a rain date of October 22nd, 2023, from 6 a.m. through 5 p.m. Police, fire, first aid to be notified on the following requests. Chamber of Commerce to contact Police Department and St. Mary's Church to coordinate traffic control. Certificate of insurance to be provided to the borough. Motion to approve the following request made by the Chamber of Jesus, if I could speak tonight, that would be nice. By the Chamber of Commerce to hold the 23rd Annual Classic Car Show and close Wanacue Avenue from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Street closure between Pompton and Lakeside Avenues. To hang a banner on Wanacue Avenue advertising the 23rd Annual Classic Car Show from September 20th, 2023 through October 22nd, 2023. Contact County Commissioners in parentheses for permission to use the Pond Hole parking lot during the 23rd Annual Classic Car Show.
Second, Councilman Devine, all in favor? Aye. Against? Anything else? That's it for me. Okay. Councilman Devine.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to welcome Michael Corelli as our new borough administrator. I'm glad I reached out when we posted the job. I'm glad you applied, and I'm glad you interviewed me. So I look forward to working with you. Hopefully you last longer than our last one. But I think you will, and I think you're going to be an excellent asset to the borough and our residents. This past Monday, I attended the Municipal Utilities Authority meeting. Actually, that was last week. Just so people know, beginning on Monday, October 23rd, the Pompton Lakes MUA will conduct its fall hydrant flushing. It will be performed between the hours of 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. to cause the least amount of inconvenience to customers. It should be noted that customers may experience a temporary discoloration in their water or a drop in water pressure during this time. And if you don't know what to do when your water comes out discolored, just run the cold water, not the hot water, run cold water and then eventually it should clear up. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But if you do experience that discoloration, that's typically what you do.
Please don't call the police.
They do not call the police. It's not an emergency. It's easily resolved by doing that. The MUA discussed the need to conduct a sewer capacity planning study As everybody knows, we're looking to effectuate a number of redevelopment projects. All of that, everything affects on traffic, and it affects on services, affects on schools, affects on fire, things like that. But one of the things that I kind of think gets left unsaid is all of those connections require water and they require sewer. It's up to our MUA to be able to provide that capacity. At some point, there is a limited number of capacity. They need to understand what exists capacity, what are they able to accommodate. At some point, there may not be enough capacity to do all the redevelopment projects that are going on. We'll see. That's what they need to understand. They don't know for sure, but they want to know. So they're talking about conducting a study in that regard. To that end, Capadagri recently paid off the rest of the developers agreement to the MUA. Again, the MUA is heavily involved in every redevelopment project and every development project that takes place when you have a water and sewer connection, especially ones that require new residential units. And as part of the agreement with Capadagri, they had to pay a certain amount towards MUA, and part of that is to upgrade the North Pump Station. So that'll be going on following to accommodate that. So some of it's system-wide, some of it's basically bottlenecks in the system, some of it's a question of the treatment capacity down at the MUA itself. So again, all of these things are things in motion. They're all part of what goes on in planning projects and effectuating them. And then finally, the MUA in the month of August conducted 17 sewer and water markouts. There were no emergency markouts. There was no redevelopment meeting this past month. Following the MUA meeting, I attended the library meeting. If people aren't aware, a vehicle hit one of the library drop boxes. That's going to need to be replaced. As a result, the library board of trustees is discussing acquiring security cameras. So they're trying to figure out what's the best way to install them. If they're going to be wireless, if they're going to be hardwired in the system, how do you go through a brick-and-mortar building, those kind of things. So again, that's something that the library board is discussing. And in addition, the library received a building repairs grant. And again, part of the discussion is how they're going to use that money. And that includes money.
And when you speak with the library board, let them know too that they should have a conversation with the police department.
I think it was. I think
Okay.
part of it is the cost of a hardware system that needs to be.
Good. Councilwoman Kett.
Thank you, Mayor. A warm welcome to our new Borough Administrator, Mike Corelli. I'm thrilled to have you here. I'm going to throw a lot of work at you, so get ready, okay? And I know you're going to do a great job. No, okay. The Recreation Commission Director Karen Murphy is always very kind, and she gives me all of her flyers of things that are coming up. Just for your information, the teen night costume party will be on October 16th from 7 to 8:30. I believe it's at the VFW. The kids will have a great time. And these are all on our social media sites. We're also having a scarecrow contest Saturday, October 21st on the lawn, and there's a free pumpkin painting thing that's going on. That's all being sponsored by the BID. Put on your calendar Breakfast with Santa, December 9th. All right, more details to come for that, but just put that down. And in December, we're going to have the ugly sweater party for the teens, which is December 18th. So there's a lot of things coming up, but I like to put these dates down so you have them. The other thing that we do is the walking club at Lakeside School. That starts October 10th. And then the Pompton Lake Recreation Explorers, they play bingo at the Elks on September 28th. That goes on, I think, through November. And then we're going to save the date. We'll save the date for the Toys for Tots. Okay, that would be Saturday, December 9th. So all good things that Pompton Lakes provides. Okay. I watched Channel 77. It seems to be working again, so thank you. Frank Feenan, he does all the repairs, and I guess he worked with the cable company and got that thing going. So I'm very grateful to him. It's important that people are able to see the council meetings, and then all the other meetings that we now have through our transparency ordinance. I also attended the bid meeting. The bid members are trying to bring some of the businesses, owners and the property owners back into the bid meetings. So if you're interested, if you own a business, you want to, start coming to the bid meetings. They are usually the third Thursday of the month. The car show is coming up, the fall car show. It's one of the biggest that we have. It's on Montague Avenue, and that is scheduled for Sunday, October 15th. And the rain date is the October 22nd. All right. Oh, for the autumn pumpkin painting, bring the children, and there are refreshments. And that's October 21st. Okay. Paper shredding is November 4th. I believe that'll be at the Pond Hole. And the holiday stroll, December 2nd, rain date, December 3rd. Okay. Mayor, we were gonna appoint, Alexa Reed. We can do that, are we gonna do that tonight, or?
We can do that.
Oh, okay, we can do that, when you want. Or next week, or next, council.
I just gotta get the information. Did I get the full information?
To say, yeah, she's already on the,
Do we have
commission.
her information list, do you know?
Alexa? Yeah, you have it, because she's on the, I can give it, we can do
No,
it.
just give it to me. Oh, we'll do it next meeting.
We'll do it next meeting.
She's already on it.
She's on the Shade Tree Commission.
Oh, that's fine then.
All
You
right.
want to do that tonight?
Yeah, we can do that.
She's anxious to do that, okay.
Where is it for, environmental?
She's on the Environmental Protection Committee.
So why don't we do it right now?
Yeah.
You want to appoint to the environment?
Yeah, I would make,
Do that, we need a motion.
make a
to amend the
motion.
agenda, right?
I make a motion that,
To make a
Mayor,
motion to agenda.
Do you know what the
amend-
terms are? Is that one?
Why don't we do it next week? Let's just do it next week.
yeah, we'll make it easier. We'll do it.
They're one-year appointments.
These are, oh, yes, EPC is 1 year.
Yeah, it's just
It's-
a
it's
one-year,
only-
that's fine.
Then make a motion to amend the agenda,
To place this on for this evening.
and then we'll put it on right now. Just make a motion, then put that together.
I make a motion,
You
that
can do
we,
that, yeah.
make a motion, we amend the agenda and appoint Alexa Reed to the Environmental Protection Committee
For a 1 year.
for a 1-year term.
To fill the unexpired term.
Yes, Chris Udo, step down.
Can I have a second? Second. Council President Polidori, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, she's in.
Thank you, very good, thank you very much. She's a great asset to our environmental community. I want to thank Liz Francis and Kathy Trost. They did a lot of work with our new flood insurance assessment woman, Rebecca Jones of Echo Adapt Strategies. I think she took the place of Nick Agnotti. And that's all going towards now our CRS program, trying to look at reduced rates for our homeowners that have to have flood insurance on their homes. So thank you very much. And that report was sent to our flood advisory board tonight, and they'll be talking about it tomorrow. At the last meeting there, the Shade Tree Commission had a question regarding interpretation of if residents take down a borough tree without an application. We do have an ordinance that does have some penalties for doing something that way, and the attorney at the time was going to take it, and now we have a,
We should remind our new attorney, and our new old attorney, what it's about. So just either send them an email, or you can tell them right now, whatever you want.
okay. Real quickly, there's two things. One, if a homeowner takes a shade tree, which is a borough-owned tree, down without the proper application and approval
Or permit.
or permit, then, and if they do that, what's the resolution to that? And then the second thing is the actual company, the tree service company who does that, are they also, should they also be cited for a violation? And if the tree service company does not use the markout requirement, that I believe is a state law, is there a penalty on that? And if there is, we have to talk about
Mark
that.
out for underground
Yeah,
utilities.
underground utilities, yeah.
And who would be in authorization to say what they're
And,
doing?
yeah, who would
Is it the
actually?
police? Is it the building department?
There is an ordinance on that. Mr. Hinton gave that to me, and, so we're just looking to do that because what we don't want are people
Are you
coming in.
looking for an interpretation of the existing ordinance, or are you looking to accomplish things that are not
No, existing
already?
ordinance.
Okay.
It's existing. Okay. It doesn't happen often, but we don't want to start a trend. And that's what will happen. People just start taking down trees if they don't like them, they're too big, they're hanging in my way, blah, blah, blah. We have a whole process. We have a very solid process. The Shade Tree does a very good job with it, and we spend a lot of time at our meetings talking about the different applications, pruning, knocking down, bugs that are killing these trees because of the, infestation. So we don't want to start a bad trend. We want to nip it in the bud. So, you'll get back to me?
Well, he'll give a report to us the next meeting.
Okay. And if you need anything, you know where to find me. Okay. And I'm looking forward to the program for planting the Salem oak within the Rotary Park. Thank you very much with that. Thank you, Randy, for taking care of the baby tree for as long as you did. And I would like to also just say that I would like to have a resolution to Mr. Popoff's problem.
I would too.
It should be done. One way or the other, it's gotta get done, because I don't wanna see his problem
I agree.
flood. I don't wanna see that anymore. And that is my report.
Thank you. Councilman Bennett.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be last to congratulate you. Congratulations, and we look forward to working with you. The last update I have with our New Jersey Film Ready Community Certification was back in May. Since then, the organization, they went through a physical and a realignment. So they were kind of unavailable for a couple months. So there was a delay in the announcement. We're all checked off as far as becoming film ready certified, and the new timeline for the announcement is next month, October. Next, City Green and Passaic County granted the borough for 6th year in a row. This time we have 1,000 daffodil bulbs. For Mr. Hinton had some spots he had mentioned he wanted to place them. We have 5 redbud trees for the Shade Tree Commission to use at their discretion. And lastly, $250 worth of perennial plants, native plants. They're sitting in the back of my pickup truck right now, waiting to be planted this Sunday, October 1st. We're gonna meet over by the Red Trailhead, and we're gonna plant them along the different trailheads. That's 9 o'clock, if I didn't mention that. And that is my report.
Thank you. I have an actual question for all of us, but also I think it involves Liz too. The Townwide Garage Sale, which is this Friday, has a rain date of October 1st, the next day, Sunday. As a group, who's making the determination that if it's going to rain or not rain?
Well,
It's supposed to rain
it's
Saturday.
hard to cancel the garage.
That's what I'm
sale
saying,
because Some
right.
people will still put it out. When residents call, I just tell them whatever according to the weather, you have to just judge. We really don't cancel it because
So
residents.
the question would be then, why do we have a rain date? So are they going to actually do it? They can do it theoretically both days, I'm guessing,
Well,
right?
nobody really, if they do it 2 days.
Didn't that happen last year? Didn't we have some people
Yes.
put their stuff out anyway, and then people did it again on the rain date?
Yes, so that's up to the council, they just.
I just want to get that message out there to anybody who's having a garage sale. If it's raining and you want to sit in the rain and sell stuff, I guess you can do that.
Make a decision.
Correct. If Sunday does look like the better day, so I'll leave it up to you. I just want to make sure we all understand that in case
The
anybody
police
asks.
don't go out and issue any, we don't go out and really check on Sunday because many people do, use the second day rather than,
Okay.
And now it's a 2-day event.
well,
Okay.
really not.
Everybody's good with that? Everybody's okay?
Yeah, Mayor, it's the ultimate recycling and reuse, thing, so.
However you want to
They
call
have
it.
them 2 days. I think the concern was that if they have a garage sale, they might have had to pay a fee.
There's a $10.
There's a $10 fee, so this way, there's no fee. So I don't mind extending it.
Yeah, I don't want people thinking they're looking for a post from us saying it's canceled and it's scheduled for Sunday. That's all. Okay. Can I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment?
So moved.
Councilman
Second.
Wine, Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public like to address? Please step up.
Elaine Zablocki, 6 Butler Street. In September of 2021, 2 years ago, I came to the council and asked about a military banner program. And at that time, I was told you would get back to me. About 6 or 8 months later, last summer, I spoke to a handful of council people at Hug-a-Mug, and I brought it up again. I actually don't remember if anybody said they'll get back to me. The reason why I'm bringing it up now, 2 years later, is that 2 months ago, I came to the council and asked about establishing a Pride Committee. And I don't want the Pride Committee to fall into the black hole of, I'll get back to you. So I respectfully request that after the election, before the end of the calendar year, that you make a decision about establishing a Pride Committee.
I can answer the first part of that for you. It did take a little going back and forth with the bid. They are working with us on this project. They did approve putting some funding aside for a part of the flags. We are just trying to figure out whether it's going to be the existing brackets, mounts that we have on the poles now. The hope was that it would be from the Memorial Day to the Labor Day holiday, because they don't stay up all year. So that did put us out of having them up for this year, but the funding has been approved, so I am hopeful that we will have that done for next year.
Thank you. Would that be available to residents? I know West Milford offers their residents to purchase them themselves.
So
In some towns, the VFWs will buy the flags. They were about $155 2 years ago. For the township or the bid or the community to purchase, but people did have the opportunity to buy one themselves for a family member.
I pulled a few of the applications from a couple of the surrounding towns that have started doing it, because as you can see, they are popping up all over now.
They're all over, yes.
They are, and so,
Except Pumpkin.
so I'm trying to find the best middle ground by looking at how different towns are doing it, and maybe this is something Michael can help me with. Some of the towns run it through one of their rec programs, some of the towns
Right.
sell the signs, but they use the proceeds from that to offset flags that are, banners that are given out to free for families that have deceased family members that they're honoring. So there's a couple different ways to approach it. It's just a matter of figuring out what the application will read like. But I think really getting to the point of what the sign size and funding was going to be was really the bigger issue. Putting the application together shouldn't be that hard.
Well,
And let me
thank
just-
you. I'm
can I-
glad, let me just finish. I'm glad that this is in the works. I guess I'm just wondering why, since I had a file with me, I had contacted Wayne and Wyckoff, those were the only 2 years ago who were doing it, and both townships, one was through the rep department, were very helpful, gave me a ton of information, which I told you I had, and I kind of asked to be on the committee. That's neither here nor there at this point, but I said an ad hoc committee is not going to take a lot of time to do it. So it sounds like it's underway. I'm just wondering why nobody thought to tell me that. But that's okay, I'll live with that.
I thought I apologize, I thought I did at a meeting
No.
after we had the approval. I thought I announced that we were
No, this
moving
is the
forward
first
with
I'm
it.
hearing of it, and that's okay, it's underway. That was my goal,
If you
so
want
it's
to send
fine.
me the information,
That
I'll
was
review it
fine,
with you.
It's underway.
Okay.
Now I'm really concerned that the same delay doesn't happen with the Pride Committee. So again, if that decision could be made before the end of the calendar year, so that a committee will have time to plan something for next June, because as
So we
you all
can't
know, it
discuss,
takes time.
so that would be a change of our bylaws, when we have to add something to that. And we have a meeting with the full council about bylaws in November. So we really wouldn't discuss that until then.
Okay, then I would ask that it be put on that agenda.
Right, we will
Thank
discuss
you.
it at that meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Did you have something else?
Yeah, Mrs. Blocky, I think that you had raised at the last meeting about the Pride Committee, that these committees were part of the municipal government. And I just couldn't find any example where that was. When you look at some of probably the most prominent, you look at Paquonic that just successfully had a Pride Festival in Greenview Park, that's Propel, and they have nothing to do with the municipal government. Out Montclair has nothing to do with the municipal government. The Asbury Park Pride Festival is done by Jersey Pride, which is a nonprofit organization. Again, nothing to do with the city government. So I think in some circumstances, it's actually better to have these kind of things generated and done by groups that aren't handcuffed by the rules and regulations of the government. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's a special interest. It's a good one, but at the same time, I'm not sure that this is one my personal opinion, that this is one that our municipality should take on. I just don't see that we need to take another committee when there's plenty of examples of nonprofits that aren't part of the municipal government doing the kind of things that you're talking about. But again, that's my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public like to address? Please step up.
Randy Hinton, 443 Montclair Avenue. I'm just going back on what Councilwoman Kent talked about as far as Shade Tree's issue with homeowners taking down, actually, borough property. At the last meeting, Mr. Mayor, you had said that if we bring it up to the building department. So in that interim between now and then, I went to the building department and brought it up with them, and they said they have nothing to do with that. So with Mark, our reoccurring attorney back, if he can look into it as to, does Shade Tree go to the police department? How does Shade Tree handle that? If they come across a resident taken down, actually destroying borough property is what it comes down to.
And I think that's, you understand that, right? Don't you?
Yeah, Randy, this is section 178 of the code.
I'm not exactly sure, I don't have everything in front of me right now.
I was just looking at it on my phone. But there is a permit that's required. See, there's a permit application form. There's your recollection is there's an ordinance on the books with respect to this already.
Well, if the homeowner comes to us and requests the tree to be removed, we make a judgment of the tree's condition. If we agree with the homeowner, the borough will remove the tree. If we agree, say, that the tree should just be pruned, in this instance, when I talked to this specific homeowner, she was complaining about branches from the tree hitting her house. That's understandable. We work with the homeowners on something like that. But we would have just pruned the tree back. We wouldn't have removed it if it was a healthy tree. We have to make that assessment in the field. And from what I understand, going through the ordinance, it's a $500 fine, not more than 90 days in county jail.
So you're saying it's in, you think it's in the, that's in the ordinance?
Yes.
All right, so if it is, then
To
that's.
cut it down yourself, it's chapter 12.
Yeah, it's 12-7.
All right, so that's what he'll look into and get us back.
Right, and it's just, how do we go about? we don't wanna-
Enforcing.
Well, yeah, we want to work with the residents. We're here to help the residents. We're not here to prosecute residents. And, but if they do something like that, do I go to the police department? Do I go to the, you might know what they do in Oakland also.
He runs the Shade Tree over there for a very long time.
Yeah, he's been in Oakland and also in Riverdale, correct? Yeah. Right, so, these are things that we just need guidance on.
Okay.
On that other issue was 2-8.3, speaking. Part D, the borough clerk will be the timekeeper for individuals speaking for the governor body. You want to check that also?
You're done, Randy. No.
Well, I don't want to cross T's and dot I's, and put more work on the list, but,
She's tough.
you know, me and the mayor like to go at each other once in a while, but it's healthy. It's healthy. It's not, and also on the difference between a committee and a commission, as you may well know, and the attorney would know, the commission is in charge of its funds, where committees are not. Mayor and council are in charge of committees' funds, like the open space committee. So with my little stipend, it was voted on by the commission to provide me a gas stipend. Doesn't go with other volunteers from other committees, because the commission is in charge of the funds. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Anyone else from the public like to address us? There's a hand up, come on.
David Farn, 107 Federal Hill Road. First, congratulations, Michael. I've known Michael for about a little over a year since you know that he took over for the borough clerk over there, and which I've known her since I was like Yale High, and yeah, then and whenever I was biking in town every so often, and I would stop by the town hall to see her and whoever else I know, and most of them now aren't there. So I think Lisa was the only one left since I first saw you with her. And yes, and yeah, so the borough clerk that I first knew, she graduated from Indian Hills somewhere in between 81 and 85, because two of my sisters graduated from there. One was 81 and the other was either 85 or 86, but I think the second one was 85, if I remember right, and then Lisa graduated like somewhere in between my two sisters. So again, congratulations, and so you'll be seeing a lot of me. And just to confirm, you said the Toys for Tots is December 9th, right?
I didn't say that. Was that you, Marie?
Yes, I gave a report. I think it's December 9th.
I believe you're correct.
December 9th, right?
December 9th, yes.
December 9th, okay. And Breakfast with Santa's the same day, right?
I think so.
It usually is.
Usually is, yeah.
Yeah, down at the office.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public like to address? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public session?
So moved.
Councilman Devine, who was that then? Council President Polidori, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Privilege of the floor? Privilege of the floor? Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.
Thank you.